Hey guys, 11:40 a.m., 9/14/2020. I really do need you guys' feedback, and we're looking to do some type of a Discord room where we can kind of go live every morning, look at some stocks, and then maybe once or twice or even three times a week, if something really interesting pops up, and kind of do an alert where we can meet in the room and look at it, discuss, and then obviously we can keep the room open for traders to kind of discuss different ideas. Oracle today on some news popped up with the TikTok deal going on. The 1 year daily, it looks like it's all time, or at least recent highs on Oracle. Let's look at the 1 year daily and see where we got. It did get to possibly all time highs. So I got some alerts coming off on Peloton. I got some alerts coming off on SPY. Let's look at the 5 year and see. Actually, let's look at 10 year. Yeah, we do have all time highs, I believe, on Oracle, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, no, maybe. Yeah, we do. But they sold into the news a little bit of pullback. They froze the stock. So if you look at the 1 minute, you're going to have a gap in it today. And we look at VWAP, it's just kind of floundering around. So no interesting trade in there. A couple interesting trades was Nikola coming down to we're still under the VWAP on Oracle. So actually, when it broke VWAP, it looked like an interesting short. I did not take a position in that. Nikola, though, on the 1 year daily, kind of fighting back on the Hindenburg and the Muddy Waters report, and was a nice little reversal trade from that 29 area. I had some things to do today, unfortunately. I would have been on with a couple different ideas, and you can see how this came into play here, and this little double bottom here on your 1 year daily. So you can see that once we got to that point, if there were shorts in there, they certainly covered their positions. You can see straight across here, horizontal support at the 29-ish area, and then you got a big reversal intraday. And now probably 35 is your resistance level, and you could get a little bit of a squeeze. We start to move up over there. I do like the Peloton short. We talked about a couple guys asked me live on Sunday what I thought about Peloton's earnings, and I said it could kind of look like Zoom. I would not chase it down here, but I thought it could look like Zoom, where you open up intraday and then you do nothing but sell off. That it might make an interesting short, and it seems like that's kind of in play here. If you look at the 10-day chart, that's exactly what happened. Pre-market highs, all-time 100, and then nothing but selling, and then breaking levels and selling, and then breaking levels and selling. So we continue to make lower lows on Peloton, but now it's kind of getting a little bit of stability around that 78, 79, 80 area. Don't look at these levels, though. These are intraday. So interesting movements there. As far as the SPACs are concerned, the ones that we like, the DPHC is still on fire, up another 15%. Unbelievable. DPHC has been on a tear. And then SPAQ, which has been super volatile, the one that we like too, up again another 11% today. But these are very difficult because they do make wide swings intraday, and I'm more inclined to sell in the strength and buy the weakness than I am just to buy and hold these. SPAQ is one we liked, and DPHC was another one that we liked. And this one has been on a tear on the 1 year daily. Look at that move there. Kind of looking at KCAC, hoping for a big move. Then FVAC, we've been in that. Kind of neutral here on this one. FVAC maybe needs some more sideways consolidation before it's able to make another big move to the upside. It looks like there's buying on weakness and selling the strength. Same kind of system that I've been using. QDEL, I think we can start maybe accumulating some. I'd like to see this on some market weakness below like 155. Big move down on some responses to their COVID quick test. No big deal because the company's just not a one-trick pony here. So I do like this company longer term. Fundamentally, they're more than just that COVID testing. It's kind of looking to find some stability in here. I think you can take a position anywhere below 159. I would say would be a small position area to take a little bit of a nibble. And just longer term, I'm probably looking for this to go back up and retest into the 180s. So it's just a matter of how much more weakness do we have before we get to that point. You could even get down into the 140s, and I wouldn't freak out on this one. We get a big pop up, and then we kind of curled a little bit of a 75%, 70-something percent Fibonacci retracement. Now you're curling back up again on that one as well. So it's kind of bouncing around the 200 exponential moving average. JNCE was one we talked about. Something about it I liked in the 6s, the 7s, the 8s, and now it's almost in the 9s. So we're getting a little stretchy here though, but some sideways consolidation to push you to 10, and this thing could see some blue skies to the upside. Price target would probably be around 1090 on that one. DKNG is looking okay today. I think it's kind of an avoid for now. It's not showing any super strong strength. Tesla looks like it's going to go hit 405s. This is the one that I did like on pullbacks recently. We never got a close, I don't think, below. Did we get a close? Yeah, we did get a close below the 45, the 50-day moving average. But Tesla coming into the battery day is now making a new high on the recent 5-day pullback that we've seen. If you can look at it here, you can see on the 5-day 20 minutes that Tesla has probably got a little bit more to go to the upside as we start to break through this little resistance area in the 390s. You're probably going to get up into the 405, 410 area. Getting a little overbought intraday. You're up in the 75, 76 area in the RSI. So, but it is pure momentum right now. You could get a consolidation pullback later in the day. But for now, that looks good. SPY. SPY's got me a little bit hesitant here. Let me see what the intraday looks like. I'm kind of shocked that we're up today. For some reason, I was thinking we'd have a down day today. Just didn't like the way NASDAQ was acting, and NASDAQ's been the leader. But SPY, nice move. You started to break down here intraday, and then you kind of pulled back. And look, I had this up from earlier, so those channel markers do kind of work here. I don't have an intraday VWAP up, but we probably did break through the intraday VWAP on there. Let's see if we can load that study set and see where we're at. Now we held the VWAP all day long. But a little bit of profit taking. I don't know if there's news. I wasn't watching CNBC or anything. And then you had this sharp move below this little channel support in here. And then we pop back up, and it kind of looks like it's trying to figure out which way to go. You retest the descending trend line where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and then you pop up through, back test it. Now you're looking like you want to go higher. So that's a pretty interesting move there on SPY, which hasn't looked that great lately. So SPAQ we liked, and that's been firing up. DPHC we liked, that's been firing up. EvoFem, which has been a big disappointment lately. I've narrowed down, I've scaled down my shares, and I had 10,000 shares at one point. Sold some into the recent pop into the upper threes, I think we were, I forget. And now I'm just down to 1,000 shares. News out that CEO sold a lot of shares in the threes, 330, 340. I think she wanted to buy a house or something. I don't know. It doesn't bode too well when your insiders are selling big blocks of company shares. But who knows what her personal position was there? Maybe she was buying a house or something. I don't know what the story is. But no real feedback yet on Phexi, their contraceptive drug. So it's probably a little bit too early to make an assertion on how that drug is doing. Zoom, super strong again today. That was one of my ones that I liked on a pullback. Wayfair is super strong too. The big names are running today. Amazon, our Duluth tradings got into the 13s. Holy cow, I think you're going to be a little bit overstretched here. It needs a pullback. UVXY, a lot of traders are asking me about that. I said you could buy some, but don't fall in love with it. And obviously you can see why. I said that when the market starts to pull back, you could actually start to see this go down. And if you look at it over a 10-day time frame, when the market's been weak here, let me do a 10-day here because it's not going to do it on the minutes. I'll do a 10 by 20, and you'll see that it had a nice pop, and that was it. And I comment on StockTwits. Some guys were arguing me. I said that's probably going to be the high for the rest of the year in the 31, 32 area. And they seemed to think it was going to replicate last year's crazy moves on the market pullback. And what's it done? It's actually done nothing but go down and break lower, because I told them that the market hedging was going on into the move down on SPY, and once that move came in, these guys were going to sell their insurance policies, and their insurance policies was volatility long. So now you're going to see volatility probably break to new all-time lows here. Who knows? I mean, it could get a little bit of stability here. Let me see where the VIX is at. Let's look at the VIX here. VIX.X. Got to put a dollar sign in front of it. Can we get to new all-time lows on the VIX? Why am I not able to pull up volatility? Let's pull it up here on futures. Let's see where we're at on the VIX. CBO volatility futures. I mean, let me back off that statement of the new all-time lows, but it looks like it's definitely going to head back to the 21-22, and I don't know where that puts UVXY. But like I said, you had this big spike move up, and did nothing but, if we want to load a study set on there, did nothing but sell off into the market weakness as it started to, if traders thought that the market sell-off was done. Even on weekdays, it started to pull back because they were cashing in that insurance policy, as I mentioned. So you're probably going to go back down and retest the 22, 23 area on volatility. It's really right at some support levels here, to be honest with you, right around 2460, 2470. So you're probably going to get a little bit further weakness in UVXY. Probably going to pull you back into, if we look at this on a 5-day 20, UVXY is probably not going to see any support until, we're not even below that. We're probably going to go down to the 1970s. So I wouldn't be too happy to jump into UVXY just yet, looking for 1970s on that. And then we'll go from there. There was an interesting stock that I traded recently. I probably should have alerted you guys to it, VXRT. And I did talk to one new trader that's just a new subscriber, and I told him I like this one, so hopefully, I forget who it was. I texted you when you signed up for the alert service that I liked VXRT, and what a move intraday here. I actually had a bigger position in this, so I've been scaling out of it because I didn't think it'd get above 690, then I didn't think it would get above 720. So this thing's been on a major tear here. Holy crap, 770. What a move. That's got to be the high for today. Big volume bars. Yeah, I would say that's your high for the day, 770. But this one looks interesting because now above 7 on the daily 1 year VXRT. And I like the curl on this to begin with. Look at this on the 1 year daily. Interesting move on VXRT. And this is COVID related, so I'm kind of hesitant on these trades, especially when they've been around 89, 90 cents, somewhere like that before it broke out. Actually, it was $1 something before it started to pop to the upper end. But now you're kind of hitting that 50-day moving average where you got a little bit of price rejection intraday. It did get above it intraday, but has not been able to hold above that level. So it would need to close above that 737, which is literally right where it's sitting at right now on the 50-day moving average. But if it gets above there, then you might get up into that 830, 840 area because the volume has been monstrous in VXRT. And I do like this huge price appreciation. So it's got some price history, the breakdown, and then we flatline for a little while above the 200, which is nice to see some consolidation. And then you have the pop. So VXRT is kind of interesting here. There's a gamble stock out there, STSA. I think we talked about this one. Had a nice intraday move on the initial drop down to $4. This thing needs to be 36. It's a one-trick pony. They had a drug that was kind of rejected by the FDA for migraines. They might tweak that, and you could see. So I would say you have a chance here of an $8 or $9 stock, and your downside is probably in the threes if that submittal does not go through. So risk reward, maybe it's worth a gamble, but pure speculation here. I would not do anything with this unless you have some money to gamble.